Today we're going to be making focaccia. This is one of my favorite go-to recipes when I'm lazy to bake. Very little work if you have a mixer. It's super simple and super fancy. We are going to start with flour in a bowl. Add your water in. Using the dough hook, give it a good stir before putting it on the mixer. Usually for this recipe, I like to use as little bowls as possible because I'm too lazy to wash them. You can just add all the ingredients immediately into the mixer bowl and just give it a good mix. Scrape down the bowl and let this dough rest while we prepare our yeast mixture. We will add some yeast to water and some sugar. Give it a good stir and wait for it to get foamy. Now that it's foamy, it's ready to go into the dough. We will slowly trickle it while the mixer is on at low speed. Do not pour everything in all at once because you're gonna have a sloppy mess and it'll be so hard to combine. Once it's all combined and mixed, sprinkle in some salt and let it mix for even longer. As you mix, you can notice the dough starts pulling from the sides of the bowl. That is when you know it's about to be ready. And this is when we will drizzle in some oil. I like to add some oil in the focaccia as I feel like it gives a more tender crumb. Let it mix for a few more minutes to absorb the oil and that's it! The dough should be soft and quite sticky. So instead of proofing it in another bowl, I like to immediately proof it on the baking tray itself. This saves me one less bowl to wash. Coat the baking tray with oil and stick parchment paper on it. And then generously oil the whole surface of the tray. This will make it easier for you to shape your dough later on. Now we're gonna pour out the whole dough onto the tray. I like to use a bench scraper to pull the dough a little bit, give it a good stretch before pouring it out onto the tray. Stretching the dough helps with the gluten arrangement and hence gives you a better texture in your focaccia. Dough liquid like this is great. It's gonna give you that open crumb that focaccia has, which I love. So I'm just gonna quickly check for the window test. Pretty translucent, tension's good. So yep, time to rest. Give it that good old pat. And we are on the way to the oven. I like to proof it in a cold oven as this gives a nice humidity for the incubation period. This will rest for 2 hours. And you can go work out or go watch some Netflix and we'll be back. So while waiting, I had this brilliant plan. I've been watching people make garden in their bread. Let's do that. I just raided some vegetables off my fridge, went to my balcony garden, got some rosemary, and we'll try to make a picture out of this mix. After half hour, we have the well-rested dough. Again, with very oiled hands, we are gonna pull the dough from the center to the corners just to fill the whole entire tray. Rotate the tray and do the same for all sides, from the center to the corners. And now we'll use our fingers to gently poke it and distribute the dough evenly around the whole tray. You want the dimples all around the holes as the oil will pool up in there and bake it into a nice crispy crust. Now I will start with my gardenscape. I start with some black salt at the bottom as soil and maybe some scallions as the trees. Okay, don't really know what I'm doing, but okay. Some rosemary here and there. I don't know. At this point, I really didn't know what kind of picture that is, but Alright, we'll try to make this work. Seems pretty enough, I guess. Then in it goes in the oven. Looking good so far. And when it came out, what a freaking disappointment. Look at that. Ew. The leaves were burnt, the seeds are almost burnt, and the tomatoes are soggy. Let's do that again. So this time I decided to choose much thicker cuts of vegetables, and I took only the meat of the tomatoes, leaving the liquidy part out. And I decided to plan it out as well, so I kind of have a better picture. Alright, let's do this. Oh, one more thing. To prevent all that burning, I decided to coat it generously with the pool of oil there, and then I really stuck it into the dough this time round, so then it wouldn't pop out like before. And I quite like the result, honestly. So my inspiration for this gardenscape is based off a kindergarten kid drawing. And there you have it! I love the sunny egg yolks as the flower centers, and the seeds as the petals, and the green peas as the grass. I think it's pretty cute. I also changed the oven setting to just the lower heat, so then the top will not get too brown, and all the vegetables will still retain its color. Overall, I think it came out really cute, and all these vegetables gave the bread an extra aroma to it, which made it even more delicious. It's that good. Finished it. Told you it was easy, right? I hope that this will also become one of your favorite go-to recipes. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.